Hello, folks. Chaplain Trevor Booker here, chaplain to the foster care community, opening and presenting this new nonprofit to you, Family Made Whole, which is a nonprofit that comes alongside churches and equips and resources them to redeem vulnerable families, children in crisis, and just basically be the hands and feet of Jesus. So let's just take a look. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump into the presentation. Okay, so family made whole. We're focused on this one principle from Psalm 68:6, that is that God sets the lowly in families, and all that means is that it was never his intention for widows, orphans to be alone or unattended to. No child walks this journey alone. No caregiver walks this journey alone is our focus. That's my family there. Top left-hand corner is my wife and I, and our original biological kids, our two sons and our daughter, and their spouses. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, after the 73 kids that we've had over 10, 12 years in foster care, these are the forever kids, the adopted kids in the bottom right-hand corner. And this is everyone, including grandbaby Bella there on my wife's lap, and grandbaby Nolan there on my lap as well. And that is our family. Here's the crisis we're looking at: 400,000 kids at any given point in time in foster care in the U.S. And if we drill down a little bit to Florida, it's always nice to be top three in something, but being top three in kids that are in foster care and the system is not something you'd want to be bragging about. And these numbers change a little bit from year to year, but that's where we are now. Drilling down into Polk County, specifically in this area, we live in Lakeland, we see there's a critical shortage of available homes for foster care, and we're losing foster care homes faster than we can replace them because of something called burnout. Here are the statistics: 60% of foster care homes are going to quit in their first year simply because they're feeling that sense of burnout. But if you were able to wrap a support team, so to speak, around that foster family, we call those wraparound support teams, there's a 90% retention that family is going to continue into the second year and beyond. And we think foster care parents, families, they are missionaries to that foster care space as well. So we want to equip them and empower them. This is something interesting. 64% of the children that are removed from homes, it's not because of drug abuse or alcohol or something like that. It's neglect, which usually looks something like a single mother, maybe a couple of kids. She's working 2 or 3 jobs. All of a sudden, there's lack of supervision. Kids are left home alone. There's an issue. That happens too many times. The authorities get involved and she can lose her kids. So that is what we mean by neglect being the number one cause of foster care kids entering the system. This is a quick snapshot of my wife and I finishing up our credentials to become AG ministers and then chaplains and now U.S. missionaries in the foster care space. We believe, as Dr. Bixler said, there's nothing like the church when the church is being the church. That's an interesting statistic. 90% of churches have no foster care families. The vast majority of churches have no programs in place to actually reach out and connect and minister to this area. And we want to see if we can change that. We want to see if we can come alongside churches and if we can resource them and empower them to redeem this portion of the population out there. That's our vision statement. We envision a community where every vulnerable family and foster family are surrounded with support. In every church, this is key, every church is empowered to serve. Every child experiences the hope and stability of God's love through caring people. This is our platform. We believe a wraparound team that reaches to all areas of concern. That middle area there, that's the foster care family itself, where you have a wraparound team designed to empower that foster care family to go beyond their first year into the second year and third year if they're being equipped and resourced properly. But sometimes you need to move upstream a little bit. Remember the old story of the village where you had folks surviving on the fish that were from the stream, and all of a sudden, after generations, People start getting sick. They realize it's the fish. They begin to treat the illness. They start treating the fish. And after many, many failed attempts, someone says, why don't we just go upstream a little bit, figure out why the fish are getting sick? And that's what they did. They went upstream, they fixed the problem, and now the fish are healthy, and so is the community. So we believe if we can go upstream a little bit, wrap a support team around that, usually that single mom, and now you have a bunch of aunts and uncles and grandparents, so to speak, and a community of 4 to 6 couples wrapping around that single mom, helping out with a meal once a week, light childcare possibly, maybe even some transportation things. Now she's empowered to be a fantastic mom to her kids, and she never loses her kids, which means we're not flooding the system with foster care. And what about after the foster care situation? That circle number 3 there, when there's a reunification, right? There's a large percentage of families that get torn apart again, where kids go back into foster care. But if we can create a wraparound support team around reunified families, we're seeing the exact opposite, a huge success rate there. So whether it's before foster care, in the middle of foster care families needing support, or it's after foster care with reunification, we have wraparound teams designed to work with that scenario. Promise 686, that's one of the programs that we have. Those are the wraparound teams. Then there's the respite nights where we give foster parents a break. The Forge, Care Portal, Colleen's Cakes. Let's break these down a little bit. Here's an example of us coming alongside a church, having an information meeting, drilling down a little bit further to those who want to take a closer look, and then eventually forming in the bottom right-hand corner, forming a team, a family of individuals that will wrap around a needy mom. In this case, that team that you see there was assigned to a single mom with 6 kids, doing a fantastic job. Let's talk about respite nights. We believe that foster parents deserve a break, an area where they can drop kids off with free child care, that this professional staff that has been trained and vetted, background checked, etc. Parents can go off and have a date night, maybe run some errands, just get a breather. And when they come back, the kids feel like they've had a fantastic time. The parents have had a break. It's just very healthy for the whole family unit as a whole. So that's our respite nights. And then there's the Forge. This specifically targets the aging out crisis of kids when they get to age 18. Many of them are kicked out of foster care and they wind up on the street. The majority end up on drugs or incarcerated. We're looking for a better way to integrate that dynamic into society with something called the Forge, where there's weekly mentorships. We come together once a month for food and fellowship. But then there's also different skill classes and career development, financial literacy with a partnership with Truist Bank that we're working on now. So the idea here is, again, if you can equip and empower young adults, they will integrate into society better. And then, of course, there's Care Portal. Many folks have heard about that. That's the partnership where you take an organization that vets and researches issues in the community, and then they connect those issues electronically to dozens of churches and organizations, because many hands make light work, and the community can come together to work on issues. So we help churches get a Care Portal structure set up as well. And then this is our focus on foster kids, or maybe kids in crisis who don't have a birthday celebration traditionally, or maybe a birthday cake. We have a team of folks that are looking to bake cakes and deliver them to kids who may be in need or crisis as well. So that's a quick snapshot of the organization, Family Made Whole. And this is our 2026-27 project. This 2026-27 gives us 24 months to create 24 new wraparound teams. So our goal is to identify 15, 20 different churches, partner with them to create wraparound teams, and see 24 new teams stepping into the lives of vulnerable families and being, again, the hands and feet of Jesus. This is what we do on a daily basis. Some folks want to get a peek behind the curtain. What does Family Made Whole do from day to day, throughout the week, throughout the month? These are the things that we're doing from an infrastructure point of view, but we can't do it without you. We need to walk this journey together. As the old proverb says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, You go together with the power of partnership, and we have a unique opportunity on the ground floor to create some founding partners. Founding partners. We're looking to create 12 founding partners who can partner with us over the next 12 months. It's a temporary period of time at $500 a month. And what that does, it creates the impact. That $500 is going to fund one family for a year. It's going to mobilize 4 to 6 volunteers to begin to come alongside that family, and it's going to prevent anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 of expense on the system when that family is made whole, so to speak. And you're going to receive monthly impact updates, quarterly video calls, handwritten thank you notes, the annual impact report, so you can track where your dollars are going and see the impact that is there. And maybe that is you, but for other folks, where maybe $500 is not reasonable, and we're looking at everyday donor support team areas here as well, $50, $100, $150, $200 a month. I like to say you just need to get in where you can fit in, what makes sense for you, because no one can do everything. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. And again, if we want to go far, we want to go together as a team. So thank you for the time and the attention. Again, we're Family Made Whole, and we're looking to make a huge difference in this foster care kids in crisis space over the next couple of years. God bless you.